Hi, everybody. Welcome to Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with RJ Eskow is here from the Zero Hour. How are you doing, Richard?
I'm doing great, man.
Everybody check out the Zero Hour. Where can they find it?
Patreon.com/the Zero Hour.
Fantastic. We're taking a look at immigration on today's show, and Tucker Carlson did a nice segment, and by nice I mean bizarre. So let's just start it. Let's just start it. He's talking about growing extremism on the left.
Meanwhile, signs of growing extremism in this country on the left are everywhere. Just yesterday, a Congolese immigrant shut down the Statue of Liberty, our Statue of Liberty, to protest.
First of all, I know I'm going to nitpick. Our Statue of Liberty, the one we built and paid for. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a gift from France. Our Statue of Liberty, the one that's supposed to be here for immigrants, the one that's supposed to be a beacon to call to harbor and call all the immigrants to our country, giving your poor, tired, your huddled masses yearning to be free. That says a whole country made of immigrants. I mean, that's that symbol of immigrants. That's ours and not the fucking immigrants.
And you left out with the poem that was written by the Jewish socialist.
Oh, that's right. Who is
Emma
it?
Lazarus.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't. You say it like I should know it.
Yeah,
like
come on, man. Emma Lazarus, Jewish socialist. Go, girl.
You think you're talking to someone who's not dumb.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound condescending
mistake.
or
not at
voter
all.
Shaming.
So I don't want to. It's funny the what he's here. Let's start it again.
Meanwhile, signs of growing extremism in this country on the left are everywhere. Just yesterday, a Congolese immigrant shut down the Statue of Liberty, our Statue of Liberty, to protest the Trump administration's immigration policies.
Statue of Liberty, symbol for immigrants. It's a symbol of welcoming immigrants. That would be the perfect place to make a protest about immigration. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't that make sense?
But it's Tucker's statue.
That's our statue.
Mommy, you touched my statue.
Okay. There's a lot
Don't
more
touch
to
my
this.
statue.
There's a lot more to this. Let's get ready.
The left applauded that. But take 3 steps back and think about what you're watching right here.
3 steps, not 2, not 1 step. 1 step, you'll probably go, it still looks like makes sense. 2 steps, still looks like it makes sense. 3 steps, what the fuck is going on? Okay, here we go. We're going to take 3 steps, and this is what you'll see if you take 3 steps.
Congo is a war-ravaged hellscape, a country noted for mass rape and cannibalism. Imagine escaping.
Oh, nice.
And so if you're from there, you should never fucking say anything ever about anything or injustice anywhere else in the world. Because you come from the Congo, you better come here and shut your fucking mouth.
And don't touch the statue.
And don't touch the statue.
That's my statue.
You think this is what he's saying. Watch.
Country like that and being welcomed in our country, the United States. You'd be grateful, wouldn't you? Many Congolese are grateful. This person is not grateful at all. She took over.
So if you're an immigrant to the United States and you engage in protests to help make that country better, you are not grateful for our country. Well, sir, I would have to disagree with Tucker Carlson because George Washington came to this country. Was he born here?
I don't know.
I don't think he could become a British soldier if he was born here, right? You got to come from Britain.
No, I think I don't know.
I don't know anything.
I think he might have been. There were many generations of British settlers here before the Revolution.
Yes.
So he might have been born here. He probably was.
Oh, boy, that joke would have been a lot better had I researched it.
He wasn't born here at all. He wasn't born here. Go ahead, tell your joke.
No, but the whole goddamn country were of immigrants. So you're saying an immigrant can't come here? They should just shut their mouth and they should never try to protest or do it. That's by the way, protesting, that's also a great tradition in America. Like, it's weird that he's saying these people don't like America when he's actually not.
And I want to talk about the world.
Oh,
What's that?
George Washington.
Washington was born in Virginia.
Oh,
or
damn it.
colonial Virginia.
Yeah, colonial Virginia. So that does record.
I was trying to break it to you easy. But Tom Paine wasn't born here.
Oh, there
Tom
you go.
Paine came over here from England and he stirred up all kinds of shit. And he's a hero, except to Tucker Carlson, because he should be grateful that we let him in.
We let him
from
in.
that hellscape that was London. And by the way,
he was getting rickets.
he never says, notice how this privileged pasty-faced, smug white boy with a TV show never says he should be grateful for the system that allowed him to get
Right.
all, he can be as ungrateful as he wants to be. But this woman let her do a protest. He's all up in arms.
Tucker Carlson, pretty sure did not finish college. Can you look that up? Pretty sure he did not finish college. So, I mean, he should be grateful, right? That we live in a country where...
He worked really hard to pick out the pile of soil he happened to have been born on. He worked real hard for that, Tucker Carlson did.
So, but... and by the way, we've covered Tucker's work here before and praised it. Not kidding. So he did good work on the gas attacks in Duma and in Syria. He told the truth about Syria. I don't know why they let him do that, but he did. So when he tells the truth and he does good work, we let him know. This is funny to me to watch him do this, so I'm going to play it. Here we go.
One of our monuments to scream about how racist we are.
He likes that. He likes that.
Our
that
monument.
Our monument. Our thing. Here we go.
Racist we are, and progressives support her. They have gone insane. On MSNBC, New York Times columnist
Progressives have gone insane.
Now, Jimmy, I do have to point out here, Tucker Carlson did go to Trinity College.
Trinity.
Yes, he earned a Bachelor of Arts, but honestly, it was our Bachelors of Arts.
He did go to college.
Yeah, he did.
But you get
I
the
did.
our thing, too, is like as opposed to them, right? Because it's not just ours. It's like them, us, them.
Well,
that's
the
their whole
other.
thing. It's the
Setting
them
up
and
the
us,
other and
yeah.
blaming problems on the other who are ungrateful. So moving on. Here we go.
What happened to liberals? Well, a lot of things. One, they lost power, and that drove them off the deep end. They planned to...
They did lose power. It did not drive them off the deep end because they're still advocating for the same moderate Republican ideals and policies. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer cheering on Trump's foreign policy as is. So they don't want single payer. They don't want free college. I'm talking about the Democratic leadership. So they haven't gone. It hasn't made them go off the deep end. In fact, to be progressive. So he's confusing Democrats. Anyway, let's keep going.
Their power back, no matter what it takes. A new book by Professor David Ferris is called It's Time to Fight Dirty, and it explains how the left plans to do it.
So he got some book by some guy I never heard of.
I had that guy on my show.
You
he
did?
was good. Yeah, he was good.
So
I
you know
liked
this
him.
guy? Who is he, that David Ferris?
He's a political science professor, and the title just means, you know what? If they're going to jack the Supreme Court, for example, then add 5 more seats.
Yeah,
that kind of all sensible ideas that he has.
Yeah. So well, here's some of his ideas. Here we go.
Here's the summary of the book from Politico. Quote, grant statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico and break California.
First of all, I'm all for that.
Of course.
Grant statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico. That sounds great.
There's a simple reason why they're not states now, because they're primarily brown and black people.
There you go.
So, yeah, of course.
So now the next thing I'm not crazy about, he says...
into 7 with the goal of...
So to break California into 7 different states. I'm not for that.
I wasn't for that either, and I told the guy that.
Yeah.
And he said, well, we can debate
We agree with Tucker on that. But the reason why he wants to do that is this. Watch this.
16 new Democrats to the Senate.
So we would have 16 more Democrats in the Senate. So the way the Senate, so in theory, that's not a bad theory because the Senate gives way more power to rural people.
Right.
You're way overrepresented. California has the same amount of senators as Montana. Montana doesn't have as many people in the state as I do in my congressional district.
And that's even counting all the Mexicans that are coming in, by the way. Nice.
But what about but people forget about this. There are states with 2 senators, 1 congressperson.
Montana is one of them.
Montana. So you're overrepresented in the Senate. So this guy's giving it. So Tucker doesn't tell you that. Oh, by the way, you know the Senate is rigged towards rural white people. You know that, right? You know that it's overrepresenting those conservative views. That's why, even though most of the country... So he doesn't tell you that part. He's just telling you how Dems are going to fight dirty.
Expand the Supreme Court and the federal courts, packing them with liberal judges.
The Supreme Court, you can do that if you want. You can expand it.
It's not in the Constitution.
The Congress can expand it.
Yeah.
Right. Congress.
Right.
But you'd have to have Congress do it.
Right. So you have to win Congress first.
Yeah. There you go. So, okay.
Move to multi-member House districts to roll back the effects of partisan gerrymandering.
No, I think that's also kind of. I don't know if I totally understand what that is. Do you understand what that is?
Not completely, but I certainly agree we should roll back the effects of gerrymandering.
That's
which,
for
by
sure.
the way, I now just moved to Maryland, just outside D.C., which is totally gerrymandered by Democrats, just so you know.
Yeah.
But Republicans have gerrymandered more. Either case, you shouldn't gerrymander, right? Everybody should have equal say. And so,
well, what's the connection to multi-member House districts?
I don't know. You know, what he's doing, I think he's just throwing out a bunch of ideas to get people to think more
think out of the box. Yeah,
think out of the box. Yeah.
Out of the box and become aggressive.
Right, and I'm for that.
Okay.
I may not be for. In fact, I don't think
I'm not for the California thing, but I get what he's saying.
Yeah, he's saying, look, you know what? You want to play the games you've been playing for 40 years.
Yeah.
How about this? And as an attitude, I'm all for it.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Pass a new Voting Rights Act, including nationwide automatic voter registration.
I'm for that too.
Yep.
I'm for that. These all sound like good ideas. These are things that frighten right-wingers, apparently, because Tucker's saying them like they're scary.
Yeah.
And that's called fighting dirty. This is how Dems will fight dirty. They're going to allow people to vote. It's fucking, how underhanded of them.
Animals, really.
Well, they're also going to treat felons like humans. Keep going.
Oh, here we go.
Coming.
Enfranchisement and an end to voter ID laws.
All good ideas.
So,
Tucker.
That voter enfranchisement? What is
felon,
it? Oh,
felon enfranchisement.
So felon and so right now felons, after they serve their time and pay their debt to society, they're not allowed to vote ever again, which doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And that's not that. So they should get rid of that. You've already paid your debt to society. You should be allowed to be a productive member of society and vote. Okay, here we go.
Grant citizenship to millions of undocumented immigrants, creating a host of new Democratic-leaning voters.
So Ronald Reagan did that in the 80s, by the way. Granted citizenship to millions of undocumented immigrants. Did he not do that, Richard? I was alive when he did that.
But yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
Why not? I think it's the right thing.
I'm with you. They're here contributing to our economy. They're, again, we have net zero immigration, or meaning that just as many people leave the United States from Mexico as come to the United States from Mexico. So it's net zero immigration. I'd be all for, if they're here, they're productive. Here we go.
As Ferris puts it in the book, quote, Republicans have always feared that immigration would change the character of American society. Democrats should reward them with their very worst nightmare.
So Republicans have always feared that immigration would change the character of American society, and Democrats should reward them by making immigration happen, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I would add that Republicans didn't fear that immigration would change society when their ancestors were immigrated to this country.
Right.
It's only after that
only
that
now.
they started. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Just
Remember that paragraph. It is the blueprint for what we're about to see. They're going to tell you it's about civil rights or some other principle they pretend to care about, but they're lying. It's about seizing power and holding it. That's their only aim. They're deadly serious about it. While you were grilling in the backyard last night, they were plotting, in effect, a coup.
because we know that if there's one thing liberals that defines the personality of a liberal, it's being ruthless about seizing power and using it for your own ends.
Right.
That has been the Democratic and the liberal way for the last 50 years. Ruthless.
Ruthless. Right now, the Republicans...
While you were cooking your hot dogs.
The Republicans control every step of government. The state houses, the state legislatures, the governorships. They control the Congress. They control the Senate. They have the White House. They control... watch out. There's a coup gonna...
While you were singing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song around the barbecue, they were plotting.
Democrats can't. Right now, Democrats are endorsing fucking right wingers up in Rhode Island? Where is it?
Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island now. That's how shitty the Democrat. You're really worried about the Democrats getting their act together and taking over fucking power? Believe me, that's not happening.
On July 4th, while you were cooking your hamburgers, several miles down, there were a bunch of Democrats with their veggie patties and guacamole planning a coup.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Quinoa, too, by the way. You left out the quinoa.
Of course.
So there's There's Tucker Carlson. Even though Republicans control every level of government, you should still be scared. You can never not be scared.
But it's not just that. It's also the fact that an immigrant protested and touched our statue.
Yeah,
That's right.
so that's got everything in it, right? It's still, even though everything's great, you guys have power, you have the presidency, you have everything. Trump's building a wall. We're separating kids from their parents, the babies from their mother. We're doing all that. Fucking watch out, baby. Those dirty Mexicans are coming, and they're going to take your country away from you. They're going to come here and work. What the fuck?
And yet,
what are you afraid of? Go ahead.
And the chyron he gave it, extremism on the left.
Extremism.
It's like a right winger. It's like it seems like 3 times a year a right winger goes out and shoots some police officers or firefighters or people on the street.
All the mass shootings are
All the
white
mass
Christians.
shootings are
White Christians.
But you never hear extremism on the right. They can shoot all the people they want, and it's not extremism. But somebody touches a statue, and it's the end of the world.
Well, you have a Muslim ban because Muslims are terrorists, and they might come here and shoot someone. Although every mass shooting in America is done by pretty much by a white Christian. Nobody wants to ban people from Christian countries.
Or profile white Christians because we know
white Christians.
Put informants in white churches,
Yep.
and we should look. It's just that's where the terror is.
Yeah, but there's the guy in Florida. He was a Muslim, right? Who shot up that gay nightclub.
He was a Muslim, wasn't he? He was a Muslim, and yes, he was, and he was also. I think his wife said he was sexually confused.
Yes, I think
But then there was another report. By the way, I had this woman on my show. There was another report that came out that said he didn't even know it was a gay nightclub when he went in there.
Really?
And so, they arrested the wife and they held her for like 18 months.
Yeah.
So it was a very confusing story.
But I would say still the majority of mass shootings in America are white Christians, white Christian males.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's statistics on it.
And somehow they're always apprehended alive, too.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Okay, well, so there's Tucker Carlson. Even though the Republican, it's the Democrats who are they're so sneaky, they've completely lost power at every level of government. That's how sneaky those Democrats are. You watch.
And they're extreme on the left. They want to let felons vote. They want to give a path to citizenship. Is there no limit to the people they're willing to help?
No kidding, right? They want to have proportional representation in the Senate. They're extreme. Nice job, Tucker. We still like you.
Do you like him?
No. Hey, please make sure you subscribed. Even if you think you are, you probably are. It only takes a second to check. And then click that bell to make sure you get a notice every time we drop a video. They won't tell you every time anyway, but it's the only thing we can do to fight back against the bastards. So please make sure you're subscribed and click that bell. And our next live show is July 15th in Chicago. And after that, July 27th in Burbank, California. Special guest on that show, Abby Martin. And if you could become a patron, that would be fantastic. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Thanks for your support.